All right, what's going on, guys? So I know in the last video I said the next two videos would be about Karapak, but I instead decided to move this to Raksha because I think this will more clearly illustrate the point. So in this video, we're going to talk about damage foresight. Now, damage foresight refers to the idea of knowing how much damage you're going to take and then planning your rotation around that much damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to do Raksha and we're going to focus on a couple of things at this boss. First, we're going to do one kill where we just see how much damage we're taking with our protection prayers on. We're not going to use soul split at all. And the main reason we're doing this is because ranged and necromancy, but necromancy has natural sustain, so it's hard to prove the point. Ranged has access to split soul. Now, what this means is because we will be losing all of our healing, it's actually really important to understand how much damage we're going to be taking so we know if we can afford to just not heal for 20 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a kill and we're just going to get our correct overhead, so we're not going to soul split at all. I don't know what these quick prayers are, but it's fine. So obviously Raksha missed us a million times, but when he did finally hit us, he only hit 800 through our prayers. So a 900 through our prayers, I just missed a prayer flick there. And I do have a Blood Reaver. I forgot to despawn it, but this should be a pretty good indicator that we're just kind of chilling here. Like, Raksha's doing damage to us, but it feels like he can't really kill us as long as we're hitting our prayer flicks. So, okay, now we know that. So now something else I want to see is, do we have to move so far out of our sunshine that we just lose access to our sunshine entirely? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is sunshine is an incredibly important ability for how range does its damage. So we're going to go into another kill where we're still doing our overheads, but we're going to sunshine right in the beginning and see if we can dodge the tail swipe and the shadow bomb without leaving our sunshine. So we'll sunshine here. So we'll do our moves two steps back. And we see that by doing our move 2 steps back, we are able to stay in our sunshine the entire time. So, okay, now we know both of these things. We know that one, we have enough health and Raksha's accuracy is low enough that we can soul split, or that we can split soul. And we also know that we don't have to move so far away from him that it actually pulls us out of our sunshine. So by combining both of these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my death swiftness. I know I said sunshine earlier, that was by accident. I'm going to use my death swiftness and use my split soul, and we're going to soul split flick here and just see what happens. Forgot to bowl the last Guardian spec, but that's fine. But yeah, so as you can see, we were able to do both of them. We got access to basically the maximum amount of damage that we can get. And we were able to do it by just understanding what type of damage is going to come next. So another thing we know from the earlier example, we can basically use Split Soul anytime that Raksha is just doing his regular attacks because he can't really kill us. So I'm just going to Split Soul basically whenever it's up. I didn't use it there, or rather it ran out there, but yeah. Now we'll just Bladed Dive and clear all these pools. My accuracy is really low on this guy. I do not remember it being that low. But yeah, so hopefully this just kind of shows that by understanding how much damage you're doing and how much damage you're going to take, you can do quite a bit of planning and have a really good idea of what you're allowed to do based on, all of these factors. So I've been under Split Soul essentially the entire fight. Now I'm just going to use Split Soul here because I know his regular attacks are never going to kill me. And if I ever feel like they are, then I actually have the upside of just not using Split Soul and healing normally. So to illustrate that, what I'll do is I'm actually just going to tank both of these auto attacks. So I'm at 4,000 HP now. And like I can just hit the boss and I'm back up to full, right? So as long as you're dealing with all of the mechanics properly, the boss is basically never gonna do enough damage to you that you don't have an out. Sorry, I needed to like make sure I didn't do anything wrong. So here I ran out of prayer, but like it's fine. I don't really care that much. I definitely should. Here, I'll do this so I can have some more prayer. But yeah, this should be a pretty clear indicator of just how understanding how much damage you're going to take allows you a lot more freedom at these boss fights. And you can use this at every single boss in the game. This is really important for soul split flicking. This is really important for if you just want to soul split and you're unsure of whether or not you have enough natural sustain to deal with the boss. So another instance of that is going to be Vorkath, which we'll show right now. We should have enough time before reset. So the reason that normal mode Vorkath is so chill with max gear is you can just kind of stand there and Vorkath will never actually do enough damage to you that you need to move. So here we'll just show what I mean by that. Oh, I totally forgot about this mechanic. Okay, that's fine. Well, let's go kill this giant because I forgot that that was a thing. So here, I'm just going to stand here with Soul Split on, and then we're just going to see what happens. So we skipped the first flight pretty much entirely. We're going to put bloat on him because our bloat ran off. So I'm not dodging anything. I'm literally just standing here. I'm not going to dodge this either. I'm just going to stand here and see what happens. I'm not going to dodge these spikes either. I'm just going to stand here and see what happens. So if you don't dodge the spikes, you do take quite a bit of damage, but I'm still just standing here. I still haven't eaten a single time. I'm literally just standing here. So now we'll split soul, shoot down Vorkath, and we're going to just burst down Zemragul. So that is the flight skip for Vorkath, and that works because if you just understand that you're never going to die, obviously this is with max gear, but if you understand that you're never going to die ever in your entire life, it just gives you so much more freedom to ignore everything and focus all of your damage on Zemragul. You don't need to burst down Vorkath at all because it turns out you can't die to any of his mechanics. So yeah, hopefully these two demonstrations that I showed you guys kind of outline why understanding how much damage you're going to take is so important. One, it lets you know when you're allowed to do certain things, such as use split soul or sit in place with a damage ult like Sunshine or Death Swiftness. And two, if there are ways to avoid that damage, now you know, okay, if I don't do X, I'm going to take this much damage. So I should really go out of my way to make sure that I do X. But yeah, this is probably going to be the last video in the PVM Fundamentals series. The only other things that we need to talk about are going to be unique mechanics. So we're going to talk about how to utilize Karapak's Time Warp. We're going to talk about how to utilize the Adrenaline Beam in P5 at Telos. And we are going to talk about how to do bomb stacking at Virago. Bomb stacking is 100% the hardest thing that you're going to see on this channel. But if you do want to learn solo Virago, then it is something that you should learn how to do, especially if you're not going to use Necromancy. So you guys have that to look forward to. But in terms of the like main series, generic, this works at every boss, this is going to be the last video for PVM Fundamentals. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope this video and this series in general helped you guys out quite a bit. And I'll see you guys in the next one.